Now the Supremes. Before the election, some libertarians said, Romney, Obama, who cares? They're both big government bureaucrats. Not much difference in what they'll do. But one big, lasting difference will come from Obama's appointments to the Supreme Court. That could affect whether you get hired, where your kid attends school, whether you could protect yourself with a gun. So which should we worry about or be glad about? Let's ask Fox's freedom-loving judge, Andrew Napolitano.
John, good to be with you.
Should I worry?
Well, of course you should worry. I mean, actually, I would have worried at either of them appointing a justice to the Supreme Court, but I would worry far more with President Obama replacing retiring justices. Let's say that Justice Ginsburg, who is not well, who's a serious liberal, and who's up there in years.
Let's just go over that. We have 4 justices in their 70s. Ginsburg and Breyer, 79 and 74, both liberal justices.
Well, Justice Ginsburg, as I said, is not well. Justice Breyer is probably going to sit there for another 10 years if nature permits it.
Maybe. Okay.
So if President Obama replaces Justice Ginsburg, it will be with a person of like mind, but perhaps 30 or 40 years her junior. So though the voting would be the same, you are removing a rather shy, reticent, unwell senior citizen for a young, aggressive, coalition-building youngster. And that's probably what you're going to get. You'll probably get someone like Justice Sotomayor or Justice Kagan, who plans to sit there for another 30 or 40 years.
And 30, 40 years is probably the norm now. When the Republic was created, most of the justices were already past the average age of death. They didn't serve that long.
Right. As you know, they serve for life. And in the modern era, they have attempted to end their terms, so far as they can, control this, during the presidency of a president of the same party that appointed them. Obviously, sometimes nature interferes, but to the extent that this is a free choice, they will attempt to do that. So I think you can soundly expect that Justice Ginsburg will leave the court by one means or another in the next 4 years. I don't expect any of the others will. I can't imagine that Justice Kennedy or Justice Scalia will voluntarily go under a President Obama.
Justice Scalia is 76 years old. Justice Kennedy is 76. He's the swing justice, Scalia conservative.
They are young.
Young 76?
They are young 76.
All right, but let's say we got 4 people who are going to be 80 years old. Let's say they all leave the court for whatever reason, and President Obama picks Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, Barney Frank.
I'm going to move to Canada.
What changes in the court? What changes in America?
If President Obama literally were able to replace Justice Scalia and Justice Kennedy with people of like mind to the president, that would change the balance on the court radically. That would probably undo the Second Amendment and return it to the point where the progressives like it, which is only the government can own guns.
School choice?
I would think that there'd be very little left of school choice, that a progressive Supreme Court would require you to go to the public school, send your children to the public school in the neighborhood where you live and where you pay taxes.
President Obama says even if your religious belief says abortion's evil, you have to pay for it.
It's not just abortion, it's euthanasia and contraception as well. The president doesn't care about that, and I think he would appoint justices who agree with him.
What else might the court change?
We can anticipate that a progressive court, a court filled with Sonia Sotomayors and Elena Kagans, will be an activist court that will look...
And they're young enough to serve to the year 2045.
Correct, that will look for ways to put the progressive imprint on the law of the land.